The May Fusion Champ for Raid Shadow Legends, Vault-Keeper Wixwell, has created some massive opportunities for Clan Boss. I've got a new team here we're going to showcase tonight. Hey guys, finally he sleeps here, back again with another Raid Shadow Legends video. This is my latest team, centered around Wixwell, built for Clan Boss. This is a full affinity friendly team that is putting up big numbers, 500 million points on quick battle, give or take 100 million depending upon what the affinity is and who is taking the stun target. The key to these teams with Wixwell is if you're working on a very slow speed, this is a really slow team. Takes very little to build a high quality, heavy damage team, as long as you have a few components set up and the speeds are negotiable. It's not very, doesn't have to be very strict on the speed tune. So this team right here has all of the makings that let's just say if you watched my earlier video on the Wixwell free-to-play full rare, called it Wixwell Uncooked because all the other members were rare, get it, uncooked. If you watch that, it came down to two major components. You need lots and lots of shields, so you can stack shields. You need at least 1 or 2 people in shield sets. More is better for this so that the shields stack quicker and that you can focus on damage rather than defense to get your numbers a little bit higher. So shields are the most important. The second most important is keeping your buffs on. So extending your buffs and making sure you have a lot of them. Those are the 2 key components. The third component, which is almost as important as the first 2, is if it's a slow team, if it's really slow like this team, you need cooldowns for your skills. You need to cool the skills down quicker. So someone who can, like Prince Kaimar, Renegade, anybody who can decrease your cooldowns so that the growing your shields that comes out of Wixwell happens quicker. You need that to happen more often so that the shields come into place earlier, and then once that happens, this goes into a full auto build once the shields are set up. So this is the team. Corvus the Corruptor in the lead because of his aura. He has 30% ally defense in all battles as compared to Wixwell, it's 28. So we've got Corvus in the lead. Lady Makaj, Emic, Trunkheart, and GEO are in basically for damage, cooldowns, and buff extension. We have going first Wixwell with 212 speed. Defense on him is pretty high, 5326, because his Tempest of Knowledge, which is, no wait, it is Codex Intercipio, sets up his shields, and his shields is based on proportional to his defense. So I've got heavy defense on Wixwell right here out of the gate. That is opener, and then it's on auto. The reason it is on auto is because this is a slow build. This is not a it's not a 2-to-1. It's not really fast. Everything is slow. 212 is the fastest champion in here, and I need that Codex and Intercipio to put on the intercept on all 5 champions. So 5 runs through of Wixwell has to get the intercept on everybody, and then because this is affinity friendly, whichever one is taking the stun is gonna, that intercept is gonna go away. So throughout the course of the 1500 turns, Wixwell is going to have to put the intercept back on whoever needs it. So that is on, it's an opener, and it's set up on Infinity. And then Tempest of Knowledge, which is the one that actually grows his shields, grows everybody's shields, that is set up as a top priority. Geomancer's going second. At 202, his speed is set up basically to come in as a DPS. He is laying down damage. He has no buffs, so the speed doesn't really have anything to do with the damage that he's laying down. It has more to do with the buffs that are being laid on. And if you have somebody that's running faster, then their buffs can be extended. They'll lose their buffs, and then the shield and the growth of the shield that Wixwell is putting in will not grow their shield fast enough because they don't have enough buffs, and then their shield will drop off, and that could screw everything up. They'll die off quicker, and then you won't have the numbers that you need. So your timing is, it can shift around a little bit as long as you have it set up so that everybody has a max number of buffs, and then they're being extended before they're falling off. So GEO is just for damage. Lady Makaj at 201 for her speed. I only use her base form, but this has a lot of damage as well. It opens up with her Imperial Decree, which gives 2 buffs for everybody. Remember, buffs are important. The more buffs you have, the more shields you have. So she gives everybody 2 buffs out of the gate, and then it is an ally join attack. So it's a bunch of attack right on the clan boss right out of the gate. That is second priority. Her Silken Ensnare, though, is the first of the buff increase. So what this does is it goes every 3 turns, and it increases the duration of all enemy debuffs and all ally buffs by 1 turn. So that's what is allowing us to keep the buffs on our team as we move forward. Emmek's Trunkheart Sanctuary, this is one of these ones that we only have to go once, and because he's late in the turn order, his buffs are going to be extended. It puts Unkillable on everyone, but Unkillable is not an extendable buff. So we only get the advantage of that for 2 turns as far as the shield growth goes. But Taunt just on Emmek and the shield buff just on Emmek is the extension there. So this really only gives you an advantage in the very beginning through that Unkillable for everybody, but the Taunt will stick around on Emmek as long as it is extended. That's why it only goes in opening and then it's shut off. Now Venequake is first priority here, and this is another one that decreases the cooldown of all ally skills except this champion by 1 turn. So this is helping Wixwell get his Tempest of Knowledge shield growth back in more times. Corvus is last at 180. Corvus opens with his Medical Miracle, which is an AoE, and increases the duration of all enemy debuffs, and the second hit increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. So this is my second buff extender. His Field Research is second priority. This is just poison and poison sensitivity, so it's increased hits on the clan boss. Wixwell is not in a shield set. I just have his stats, basically heavy defense, a lot of HP, speed's not that important. I do have mastery set up on him. The key here, though, is his defense is heavy defense. Let's look at Lady Makaj. She doesn't have any shield sets either, but what she does have is a decent amount of accuracy, heavy crit rate, heavy crit damage, and her defense is, where is her defense? At 4671. So yet another defender in that high defensive range. And I do have all of her masteries on as well, just to be able to put in a lot of hits on the clan boss. Emmek has a shield set. So Emmek's got shields. This is the first one. He's going to lay down shields on himself as well. So this one is a heavy champion. He's HP based, but I do have a lot of defense on him. Look at his total stats. He's at 3,500. Everybody in this team is well over 3,000, just so they can withstand the the onslaught from the actual clan boss. Have also crit rate out over 100%. Only 108% on crit damage. I could push that up a bit higher, but accuracy is kind of taking a back seat here. This is one of the champions that is set up and built. I do not have him fully booked. This would help. Corvus is running defense-wise over 4,000, 4127. That's because he is a defense-based champion. He does have shield set on as well. He's defense based. He has shield set. And yeah, another one that is not fully booked. This is someone I just threw in for this build, so that would help. I do have full masteries on him though, but that is the second shield set of this group. So there is a shield set on this GEO. This is the one that is running in there. So in order to get this all bumped up across the board, I do have a shield set on GEO. It's not necessary, but it's a definite possibility. So he actually has a blood shield ring on him as well. No crit rate, no crit damage, but he does have 331 on his accuracy. And I have his masteries fully set. He is fully booked with cruelty there on it. But again, all of these sub things are not near as important as the way you have the team set up to run to hold the buffs on. Here's the way it starts out. We'll take a look at this real quick. We have the setup runs in here with everybody getting their shield put on. It turns around and the first couple of turns is just about laying down their buffs. Now the way this thing stays affinity friendly, this is a weird comp to build once you have Wixwell and you have the shields, because even if your weakest champion is the stun target, as long as you beat the formula of getting their shield on and growing faster, because you have enough buffs, it has to grow faster than the damage that the clan boss is laying out ramps up. And eventually your shield, as long as it's building, because you have at least 5 or 6 buffs on each of your champions and their defense is high enough, as long as the shield is building quicker than the damage is coming off, you'll eventually have a higher HP shield than the damage that is coming in. And what you'll see is the little divider lines, the blocks that are set up to show how much your shield is compared to your HP. Eventually those blocks will double. They will become half as wide, and it will show it multiplied out so that you know that your shield has now grown beyond your HP capacity. And once that happens, there's no amount of turns that the clan boss is going to come in that is going to deplete that shield and get it down. So you need to have, you have 2 shields on everybody. You have the shield that is earned from the shared shield artifact set, which is stackable. So if you have more than one champion with shield set, it does stack. It becomes a larger shield. You have that shield, and then you have the shield that is laid out by Wixwell. So that's why there are 2 shields. One has a plus symbol, and one is just divided, just shows the full shield. So those 2 must remain on, because you also need those extra buffs to be able to build it. So here we are at boss turn count 8. We don't have anybody yet whose shield has maxed out. All right, 15 turns. We just saw, was it Emic and Corvus both maximize shields. So now as these continue to ramp up and the shields continue to grow, we'll see the shields on everybody meet that new requirement. If you're having problems with this and someone is dropping off, there's 2 reasons it could be. One, you don't have enough buffs so that the shield is not growing quick enough, or 2, you have too little defense on whichever champion is their shield is falling off. So if they have, let's say, 5 or 6 buffs, but at 45 turn count, their shield is no longer continuing to grow, it is starting to fall back. That's because their defense is too low, and you need to press their defense higher. And if you're looking to make a 1-key Ultra Nightmare team, a lot of times you can ignore a lot of the attack here and just press your defense higher, because you really only need to get above, in the 80 mil range to 1-key Ultra Nightmare. Anything above that is kind of, it's icing on the cake. Okay, we are 60 turns in, and we are about to hit the 1-key range. We have everybody at max shields. Everyone is holding in here. There we are. 61 turns, 16 minutes, and we are now in 1-key territory. Now it's a matter of taking this all the way out to 1,500 turns and seeing what kind of numbers we can get. Yeah, 166 boss turn count. 268 mil. We're 45 minutes into this run. We still have probably another 20 minutes left before there it is. Turn limit marker has popped up. That's the warning that we're going to be hitting the 1500 turn limit. We're already at 270 mil, and we're 2/3 of the way through this. All right, 483 mil. We are 1492. We are closing in on this. Lady Makaj and her ally attack does make a pretty big difference. I think we're going to fall short of 500 mil here. We're close. Just about a $500 million. This all comes down to RNG too. How often the brimstone is sticking, and the poisons that are coming out of Corvus. Here it is, 1500 turns, 487 mil, turn count limit reached. There it is. Pretty easy build, and again, it's all comes down to Wixwell. Did you get Wixwell, and have you got it set up? Affinity friendly as long as you have enough defense, and make sure you're focused on their buffs. Speeds are really easy to work with. This is a crazy slow speed. I hope this helped. If it did, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube. I'm finally He Sleeps. As long as you guys keep showing up, I'll keep making videos. Appreciate you guys watching and checking things out. If you have time, check out my other 3 channels here on YouTube as well. Over there, first we have FC Mobile. We have Gearheads. That is my main channel here on YouTube in the middle. And then for a few laughs, check out the Cringeworthy channel, where we just make fun and troll some horrible videos on YouTube.